A recent proposal in Nevada's higher education sector has sparked a firestorm among faculty members, raising urgent questions about fairness, power dynamics, and the future of collective bargaining. At the heart of the controversy, a set of changes to the collective bargaining process by the Nevada System of Higher Education, NSHE, which the agency claims are merely about clarifying existing rules. But faculty unions argue these revisions could tilt the playing field further in favor of administrators and leave educators with less control over their contracts. Here's where it gets tricky. The NSHE's proposed amendments, delayed until October for further community input, aim to adjust how collective bargaining agreements are ratified. Specifically, the system wants to require legislative approval for any contract provisions exceeding $2,000. A threshold tied to state fiscal note requirements. While NSHE insists this is just a technical update, faculty groups like the Nevada Faculty Alliance, NFA, see it as a dangerous shift. They warn that routine items like professional development funds or safety equipment could now hinge on the part-time Nevada legislature's approval, creating a bottleneck that could stall agreements for years. This isn't just about numbers, explains Stacy Walters, NFA president and a professor at the College of Southern Nevada. For decades, the understanding was that legislative approval was only needed for major costs like salary hikes. Now, even small provisions might get stuck in bureaucratic limbo. And this is the part most people miss. The proposed changes also rework the order of contract ratification. Instead of the Board of Regents first approving agreements and then including them in budget requests, university presidents would now have to prove legislative funding is already secured before submitting contracts for approval. Critics argue this reverses the traditional process and places an unfair burden on campus leaders. Supporters of the changes, including NSHE's legal team, insist they're not about control, but clarity. This language is clearer, said James Martins, NSHE's chief general counsel. It's not saying something different. But faculty members like Pete Martini, a psychology professor and NFA chapter leader, see it as a setup for gridlock. Imagine a scenario where a president has to chase down legislators for funding before even negotiating a contract. That's not just impossible, it's a power grab. The debate isn't just academic. 4 of Nevada's 8 public universities have active faculty unions, representing nearly 1,000 educators. For years, these groups have pushed for bargaining rights equal to other state employees, only to face resistance from NSHE and Republican Governor Joe Lombardo, who vetoed similar legislation in 2023. Now, the NFA fears these new rules could further erode their leverage. This shows all of our rights are just policies that can be changed on a whim, Walter said. And here's the kicker. The NSHE isn't stopping there. A recent briefing paper hints at more changes to collective bargaining regulations, leaving faculty scrambling to understand the full picture. Why not present everything at once? Asked Amy Payson, a UNR professor. Transparency is the only way to rebuild trust. As the Board of Regents acknowledges the need for more dialogue, the NFA remains committed to its long-term goal, securing full collective bargaining rights for educators. We're playing the long game, says Kent Irvin, a chemistry professor and former NFA president. But with the next legislative session in 2027, the question remains, will faculty have a fair shot at shaping their own future? Or will these changes cement an uneven system? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think these revisions are about clarity, or are they a stealthy power play? Share your take below.